Beyond the scream, the truth about banshees. The common description of a banshee is that of an older woman with long white hair and pale, wrinkled skin. She is renowned for her piercing screams, which are believed to announce the passing of a loved one or family member in the near future. According to other legends, she had emerald or crimson eyes, wore a shroud or cloak around her body, and carried a silver comb as well. These creatures are also said to have direct ties to specific Irish families or clans, manifesting only to those who share their bloodline. The banshee is a mysterious creature from Irish legends and folklore. It is thought to have come from the early Middle Ages. The term banshee comes from the Irish phrase binsta, which translates literally to Lady of the Fairy Mound. While their exact beginnings are unknown, they were both feared and revered by the early Irish people since they were associated with supernatural activity. The earliest known written description of a banshee can be found in Sean H. Inn's 14th century poem. In it, he describes a woman wailing at night near an ancient burial ground as a harbinger of death or misfortune that was about to come upon someone in the area. This portrayal has become one of the most widely accepted depictions of what a banshee looks like today, an ethereal female figure dressed in white or grey clothing who cries out for those about to die or suffer great tragedy soon afterwards. People think that these creatures are signs of death because they often show up right before someone in the family dies. People believe that banshees can predict death by howling or wail in grief for the person who has died. People say that they can also curse people who have hurt their families. In addition, banshees are linked to the world of fairies and other supernatural beings. It is said that they possess abilities such as shape-shifting and invisibility. These powers may be used to move between worlds or even appear briefly in our own realm in order to warn people of impending danger or misfortune. Several cultures consider banshees to be undead beings, specifically ghosts or dead spirits. This belief is based on the notion that the banshee is a death harbinger who manifests just before someone passes away, weeping and lamenting for the person who is about to die. This belief in banshees as undead beings has been around for centuries, with many different cultures and folklore giving slightly different interpretations. The presence of a banshee is also often accompanied by visions of strange lights or apparitions, which again serve as warnings for impending doom. The undead theory states that banshees are the ghosts of women who passed away in tragic or violent circumstances. They can't find peace in the afterlife, so they stay on Earth and often haunt cemeteries or burial mounds close to where they used to live. The idea of unfinished business is especially pertinent for these spirits, as it suggests that they have an ulterior motive for visiting the living, whether it be warning them of upcoming danger or seeking retribution from those who caused them harm. However, not everyone believes that banshees are ghosts. The belief that banshees are supernatural beings is held by many people, as they have the ability to travel between the worlds of both the living and dead. This has led them to be thought of as a bridge between these two realms, with some even comparing them to fairies or other magical creatures. People also think that they are part of a larger group of supernatural beings who live in the rural areas of Ireland. Banshees are believed to have a number of weaknesses that can be used to ward them off and protect against their supernatural powers. For example, it is widely accepted among Irish mythology and folklore that banshees cannot traverse moving water. As such, many Irish homes were constructed near rivers or streams in an effort to keep the mythical creature away from the residents. In addition, several families chose to hang iron horseshoes over their doors as another way of protecting themselves from banshees, since iron is thought to be one of its primary weaknesses. This practice has been around for centuries and is still practiced by some today, who believe in the power of superstition and mythological creatures. Irish literature and folklore have long been fond of discussing banshees. People thought that the O'Neills, an important Irish family from the 4th century, were related to a certain banshee. According to legend, when an O'Neill family member was close to death, the banshee would appear near their home and shriek a blood-curdling scream that could be heard all over the country. This is why it became customary for people in Ireland to listen carefully for any sign of this telltale cry, as it would indicate that someone within their community had passed away. The Lally family was one of the most well-known families to have a banshee visit them. The banshee appeared in the form of a little girl and forewarned them of an impending disaster. Unfortunately, not long after the warning, their home caught fire and many members of the family were killed in the blaze. People say that the banshee saved those who were able to get away because it warned them in time. It's unclear how much time passed between when they received this warning and when their house burned down, but it is certain that those who survived owe their lives to this mysterious figure. Even though banshees are often seen as nothing more than a myth, there are still people who are sure they exist. Reports of people hearing a banshee's wailing scream before to the passing of a loved one are common among Irish families and have been passed down through generations as part of their culture and heritage. While some may choose to dismiss them, others continue to assert that they have had encounters with these mysterious spirits or encountered stories from family members who have. For many Irish people, believing in banshees is an important part of their identity and history. It shapes how they view themselves and understand their place in the world. The banshee myth has been recreated in contemporary popular culture, appearing in films, television programs, and books. These modern interpretations of the myth often stray from original folklore, but they still keep the mythology alive. The banshee has been figuratively appropriated and reinterpreted by various cultures to fit their own meanings into it. For example, one of the most recent interpretations is seen in the video game series Mass Effect, where banshees are portrayed as horrifying zombie-like monsters with a terrifying touch that can kill instantly. This adaptation takes on a much darker interpretation than traditional banshees, which are usually depicted as sorrowful spirits who only bring news of death or misfortune rather than being responsible for causing it themselves. In the past few years, the banshee has become more popular again, and it is now seen as a symbol of Irish heritage and culture. The banshee has been praised in literature, art, and even fashion, since she shows up in traditional Irish patterns. She also shows up often on patterns for clothes that are based on traditional Irish designs. Even academic studies have been done to find out why the banshee is still important in Irish mythology and how it affects culture today. It's clear that this mysterious figure is still a big part of Irish culture and history. In the popular role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons, the banshee is a powerful undead creature. They are usually depicted as incorporeal, ghostly beings with long hair and tattered clothing. Banshees are often seen lurking around cemeteries, crypts, and other places that are connected to death and the afterlife. Their most famous trait is their piercing wail, which they can use to inflict harm on their enemies or paralyze them with fear. The banshees in the game are powerful entities to be feared. Not only can their piercing cry shock or kill nearby creatures, but they also cannot be harmed by non-magical weapons. Despite this resilience, some forms of magic such as spells that target undead creatures or holy water are effective against them. Banshees can also pass through solid things, which makes it hard for other beings to predict them and stay out of their way. In Dungeons & Dragons, banshees are seen as a formidable foe for high-level players. They have many skills and talents that they can use to their advantage. While it is rare, these creatures have been known to become allies with adventurers through bargaining or magical control. In some cases, they may even join the player's party if they succeed in negotiating terms with them. Their unique powers make them powerful allies, although there is always the risk of betrayal should their bargain not be kept up by the player characters. In conclusion, banshees play a significant role in Irish culture and tradition. They continue to play a significant role in defining Irish identity and are firmly ingrained in the local customs and superstitions. Even though some people think they are just a myth, the banshee continues to capture people's imaginations and serve as a reminder of Ireland's rich cultural history. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to Connect Paranormal. This will allow us to make more videos. Thanks for watching.